Ooh. Topic master, I think. Topic master.
Just outside here, 75.
I can do both.
Oh, I'll be beside that person, get her so it's a video. I can send you okay.
That's right. Well, thank you. Adrian's keeping us right on time. Let's bring this meeting to order at noon. If we will stand, say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And with no further ado, I will turn this meeting over to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Brandy Roberts.
You know, Mr. Brandy.
I just want to eat.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I don't know if you guys are more excited than I am, but today is the first day of spring. I've been waiting on this. I do not like the wintertime. Anybody knows that I'm from Florida, so I do not do weather below 50. I know 50 is not cold to a lot of people, but that is cold to me. So I do not do weather below 50. So I was very excited when I seen the first day of spring. Actually, when time changed, because I knew the first day of spring was coming up pretty soon. So first day of spring is our theme today. So springtime. So we're going to go ahead and start off with our, is he here? From Marianne. We'll improvise this morning. So Adrian, we'll bring you up to go ahead and start with our Toastmaster Minute. So how we can become better Toastmasters, Adrian. DTM, Adrian.
Thank you, Ms. Brandy, Toastmaster Brandy. May I give you a word of wisdom? Watch the lights. Why? Why? Anybody know? Why? Disqualification. What does that mean? What does disqualification mean? Disqualification, what does that mean? Dead end. Dead end. Dead end. Watch the lights. Why? 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 We had 2 disqualified individuals this weekend. Why?
They didn't watch the lights.
Didn't watch the lights. You know what the excuse I heard was? I didn't hear the click. I didn't hear the click. I'm used to the click. May I suggest that you watch the lights? Even the blind man. Ask the blind man. He saw it all. You all watch the lights. Write that on the top of their page in your basic manual and put it in quotes, underline it twice. Watch the lights. Why? Disqualification. You are stopped in your tracks. No higher. No further do you go. Watch the lights. Madam Toastmaster, enthusiastic. Watch the lights. Madam Toastmaster Brandy. Good job. Good job.
Thank you for that, Adrian. Watch the lights. I know it's going to be in my head all day today. Watch the lights, because I didn't know where you were going with that, watching the lights. Right. Exactly. All right. So since we have Dave here now, are you ready to do our word of the day? All right.
Oh, thank
Toastmaster
you so much,
Dave.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. I do not have a word of the day, so I need to come up with something off the cuff. What shall it be? Should I ask the audience to come up with a word, or should I come up with my word? Adrian, do you have a word of the day?
Act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. Act enthusiastic. Last week, all this week, for 10 days, was to be the nationwide word of the week is enthusiasm. Those of you that haven't woken up yet, not awake yet for spring, use the word enthusiasm every day. Walk up to your friend or neighbor in your cubicle and say, enthusiastic. Enthusiastic. Walk. Act enthusiastic and you'll be what? Enthusiastic. What? Enthusiastic. What? Enthusiastic. Ooh, what, Dave, can you wake them up?
Enthusiastic! All right, word of the day, enthusiastic. Enthusiasm. Use the word enthusiasm. And let's show some enthusiasm in our meeting. Add some extra energy. Because, as is said, nothing great was ever accomplished without enthusiasm. Use the word of the day, enthusiastic. Madam Toastmaster.
I know I look enthusiastic. I know, because it's the first day of spring. We're going to keep mentioning that because I'm very excited. It is sunny outside, so I'm very excited for our first day of spring and my enthusiasm today as your Toastmaster. All right, so the next thing that we have, I did really like the idea of having the table topics before the speech, so we're going to do that again this week. So I want to call up Scott to be our table topics person today.
I'll be enthusiastic today. So as you all know, what did we have this weekend besides the speech contest? Women's retreat. St. Patrick's Day. Arkansas basketball. Oh, they did not make the Sweet 16, did they? Every office I've ever been at has the sports fans, including ours. I would like to call on my friend, my boss, Toastmaster Aaron Padua-Evans, to tell us how the Arkansas basketball team affected his weekend.
How did the Arkansas Razorbacks not making it to the Sweet 16 affect me? Back in the day, I would say in the late 80s, when the Razorbacks were the powerhouse and they were winning national championships and they were running everybody like cholera, you know what I mean? It used to really affect me. I'm a big Hog fan. I'm a football fan now. I've kind of let basketball go to the side. So even though I was disappointed, I'll always root for the Hogs, but it did not set me back. I still had time to go to the International Speech Contest, where I won B2, the competition with Steve. Kidding. And then also had time to spend with my granddaughter and the rest of my family, so it did not affect me in a negative way. I remained enthusiastic through the weekend.
One other thing, I'll give you one more and then we will move on. Today is March 20th, 2017. On this day in history, a very important person passed from this life. Can anyone tell me who? That was this weekend. Sir Isaac Newton, who has a very foundation of everyone's life, correct? So I would like to call on Toastmaster Jacobs. I knew it! To see how has the law of Sir Isaac Newton affected you?
Who is that? Every day I think about Sir Isaac Newton, maybe not by name, but when I trip and almost hit the floor, when something falls off my son's bunk bed and hits me in the head, usually because he threw it, when my toddler tumbles down the stairs, Gravity. Gravity. Death and taxes are the only things you can count on in this world. And that is how Sir Isaac Newton affects me daily.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jacobs. I will turn the meeting back over to Toastmaster Roberts.
Thank you both for your enthusiasm. I seen it a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to get on to the best part of our meeting today, and that is our wonderful speakers. So we have 3 speakers on today. Speaker number 1, Aaron's going to speak to us coming from the Competent Communication Manual Researcher Topics, Mother's Love. Toastmaster Aaron, come on down.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be enthusiastic again and speak one more time. A mother's love. By a show of hands, how many of you have a mother? All right. No, you don't have one? Oh, okay. No, I'm kidding. I know everybody has a mother, and a mother's love is exactly what it is. But for me, it's just a little bit different. Now, when I was born, and I was a lovely little baby, my mother took care of me. She changed my diapers when I was sick. She made sure I went to the doctor. Mother's love. As I got a little older, you're running around the house. You put your hands in little things you're not supposed to. And you do little things. You learn words like no, stop, get your butt down off of that thing before stuff like that. A mother's love. Now when you get into your teen years, that mother's love changes. Now she becomes more of a role model, a mentor, right? She tries to guide you and lead you in the right way to do the right thing. Do good in school. Take a shower. Brush your teeth. Don't touch them girls that spot. Stuff like that. A mother's love. Once I got to high school, I was kind of an independent gentleman, as you guys can imagine. I moved out when I was 16 years old and got my own place, had a job. Was still going to high school. I still had a good relationship with my mother. She tried to guide me, tried to teach me right from wrong, a mother's love. I want to join the Navy. Mother's love. She was concerned. Don't join the military. Something bad could happen to you. You're going to go out. You're going to travel. You're never going to go home. I'll never see you again. You know, a mother's love. I left. And she was right. I saw the world. And as a sailor, what do sailors do? They cuss. They drink. I don't smoke. Some sailors smoke. But I learned to cuss, and I learned to drink. Now, even to this day, I don't cuss in my mom's house because a mother's love is a mighty hand. But I do drink. And I like to drink Jim Beam. And it's funny, a mother's love. Anytime I would have a cocktail, it would never fail. My mother would call me. And I would say, in my mind, I would say, hello, Mother. How are you? Thank you for calling. But in her mind, she heard, and she'd be like, you're drinking. I'm like, no, ma'am, I'm not drinking. She goes, I know, don't lie. I'm your mother. I know when you've been drinking. So I was like, okay, Mom, I've had one drink. And she's like, I think you've had 6 or 7. So I try to steer that from that. So time would come back and forth, and I would travel around. I would come home on leave from the military. And I always liked to go and visit places with my friends and do things. And I would come home as a grown man, and before I would go out, my mother would always tell me, be careful, I love you, don't drink. Okay, Mom, I love you, I'll see you when I get home. I would never tell her that I wasn't going to drink. I didn't want to lie to my mom, because after all, she did love me. So this went on back and forth, and she never understood, for us who work in EMS or who are in the military, a lot of times you work night shift. So you work 11 at night to 7 in the morning, you get off in the morning, that's my 5 o'clock. So I would go and have a light cocktail. My mother would call. I don't care where I was. My mother would always call and say, "What are you doing?" "I just got off work. Where are you at?" "Huh?" You always say "huh" because you're trying to think. You don't want to say, "Hey, I just stopped over here." I have a friend of mine, Scott. She knows we drink together, so I never wanted to tell her because she knew I would be drinking. But the funniest story that I really want to say, my mother's love, I traveled, and I would always try to come home for the Liberty Bowl. I'm a big sports fan when it comes to football, and I always like to come home and try to see the Liberty Bowl. So I hadn't been home on leave in probably about 18 months. So I'd been gone a long time. I loved my mom, but I thought I would come in early, catch the game, and then I would go to my mother's house the next day and surprise her. So South Carolina is playing somebody, I don't remember. I remember Leanne Rimes was the headliner. We had great seats, me and my friend Scott. And we'd tailgate, and we had like 1 or 2 or 17 drinks. And we tailgated, we're having a good time. We moved to, we're right behind the goalpost. So we're having a good time. We're drinking, I got my green hat on, we're trying to do the wave with 2 of us. They're kicking everything. We're having a good time. My phone rings. I pick up the phone. "Hello? It's my mother. I see you at the Liberty Bowl wearing a green hat with Scott. You're a drunken damn fool. Sit down and quit embarrassing me." A mother's love. Thank you.
That was very enthusiastic. Makes me think about my mom. So my dad's name is Freddie. So anytime my mom sees me on Facebook and my face look a little, I'm not going to say drunk because I don't be drunk, she'll post on it, "Okay, Frederica." Really, Mom? All right, our next speaker for today is Kavya, Toastmaster Kavya. Come on down.
All right. So what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of March, the month of March? Lynn. Spring.
Flowers, gardening.
Cool. And what does the sports fan say?
March Madness and alcohol.
Yeah. That's what I heard. March Madness a lot. I still don't know what it really is. I know people do all these brackets for that. But for the last 2 years, I have been in Arkansas. The one thing I'm reminded every year in March is the Blue and You Fitness Challenge. So I decided, and I think most of us have at least signed up, even if you're not sticking to it, but at least signed up to the Blue and You Fitness Challenge. And I thought, okay, let's talk about it today. And, okay, can I ask how many of you have even signed up for the fitness challenge? Yeah, and who's actually sticking on to it? That's good. Okay, but I think it's never too late. And in fact, I like that they do it in March because lots of people start, as soon as the new year hits, everyone's like, oh, yeah, I want to get healthy and do all this. I want to be really good with everything. The gym membership is full. In 2 months down the line, I think in January they are like 100%, and then it falls to 80% by Feb, and then it goes down. But this Blue and You Fitness Challenge with most of the organizations, I think is really cool because it reminds us all that we started something and we want to stay healthy. Now, when I was a teenager, all the things that I would think about fitness was just to look good, and I did not really care about the health factor of it. I just wanted to look good. But as I hit my pretty much 25, that's when I realized it's not just trying to look good, but it's about the quality of life we would have as we get older. And as a public health student, we had to do lots of assignments and fitness and exercise. And so today I thought I will talk about 2 of the most important things, which all of us know. One is eating healthy, and the second thing is regular exercise. Eating healthy can be hard, especially because bad food is always very tasty. And I personally think, I always find it challenging to eat it healthy all the time. But it's better not to just try and get super healthy all at once because it's hard to stick to it. I tried eating just salads every day, and I had such bad cravings for carbs after like 2 weeks, and I went straight 5 days eating lots of carbs. I don't think it is healthy to, yeah. I think smaller switches are easy to always do, like adding a fruit to your diet every day and replacing chips with probably eating nuts for a snack, drinking lots of water instead of soda. There are simple adjustments, but instead of adding all at once, making gradual progress in your diet and health plan is always a good idea. And 80% of staying fit is what goes into your mouth. So it's very important to eat healthy. And I'm very guilty. Yesterday I had a cupcake. Day before yesterday I had a cheesecake. So I know I'm saying these things, but yeah. Another important thing is doing everything in moderation. Instead of going for like a huge slice of cupcake or a cheesecake, go for like half of it and just limit your portions. And exercising regularly is also a challenge, especially because most of the people, I think in my case, I'm not responsible for anyone. I'm just by myself, so it's easy for me to schedule my own time. But for people who have families and kids, it's not as easy. But even small changes like walking for some time, or if you live close to work, instead of driving, walking to work. I mean, I live like a mile from here, so I try walking as much as I can to work. It takes me 30 minutes to walk, but I at least get some sort of physical movement every day. Even if you cannot, the internet is a great source for finding exercises that help you perform even little exercises at your own desk or in your bedroom, so you don't really have to go to a gym to get healthy. And yeah, that's the really most important things, eating healthy and exercising regularly. And I know we are all aware of it because we work for the Department of Health, and our goal is to improve the health of Arkansans. And I think even before advocating it to people around us, it's very important for us to take care of ourselves so that we can just have a better quality of life as we get older. Thank you.
Great job, Kavia. So I challenge everybody for spring to log their Blue and You Fitness, because I have it, but I have not been logging it. But even if you log on MyFitnessPal, that's a great app that you can use on your phone. Or if you have a journal where you can log your exercising and your food, because as long as you just log something, that makes you more accountable for what you're eating. So great job with your speech today. Now on to our third speech today by Antoinette Mitchell, Miss Antoinette Mitchell, becoming a Toastmaster Club officer.
Okay, here we go.
Speeches by management, 3 to 5 and 2 to 3 minutes.
The questions are 2 to 3 minutes. Okay.
Gotcha.
All
right.
Thank you. All right. In just a few weeks, you need to get excited. We are going to have the 2017 HealthMasters Club election. Yes! Get enthusiastic about this. What is a club officer? Why do we need club officers? Has anyone ever noticed that? Why can't we just come in and run without it? Toastmasters International had a few things to say about that. They're telling us that we can become more effective as a team and as a club and as an organization all together when we have club officers who are leading our team. Have you thought about becoming a club officer if you've not ever taken that role before? Have you thought about becoming a club officer? Maybe you need to know what club officers do first, right? Do we run around with the big badge on? Wouldn't it be neat to have a big badge, club officer? I'm a club officer. Look at me. The president is the one who really gets all of the attention. Hey, I'm running things around here. I'm the president. Every week I open up. I'm right up here, the club officer. The club officer president, he is the one who presides over this meeting here, and he also guides us through ding, 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 ding. He presides over the meetings. Let me read from the script here. He earns the distinguished. He helps us earn distinguished club recognition, and he leads and he guides. That's the verb in it. He leads and he guides, or she does. He or she leads and guides the club. The president, a vice president. Currently, we have Joyce Biddle, and you see what Joyce does. A great job getting us to make speeches. If you were a VP membership of education, what would you do? You would get people to make speeches. And not only that, but you would keep it formatted. There would be a chart that she's tried to get us to sign to keep up with the number of speeches that we make. What impact does that have on our club and on our division and on the district? When we make speeches and our VP of education keeps us on target, that means we can become distinguished club. Distinguished. Hey, who wouldn't want to be distinguished? I'm a club officer, and I'm a member of HealthMasters, Toastmasters. Look at me. I've made 15 speeches. All right. The Vice President of Education coordinates the club schedule, assists with the education awards, and plans the speech contest. We work with her in planning the speech contest. The VP President, the VP of Membership, who is Jonna. Jonna, as the membership person right now, is going to get ready pretty soon to recruit new members. Someone said it's 4 times a year that Toastmasters International has events for us. Beat the Clock, I think, is one of them, and then there's 3 more events that we get to bring in membership, to bring in members, conduct the membership contest, and assist the guests. That's the functions, just a few of them, of the VP of Education. VP of Public Relations, yes, that's me. I get to take all these pictures and try to have them ready for the website, right? A newsletter is still in the making, Scott. I'm going to do it before July 1, I promise. That's when the term ends physically on June 30th. You're elected, and then you go from July 1 to June 30th in a club officer position. The next one is going to be secretary. Sometimes the secretary and the treasurer's roles are put together. But in this club, they are separate. Philip Borden is the current secretary. Take notes at the executive meetings. The club officers come together once a month, and they begin to look over the club success roles, a club success series that we have already planned for this club. In other words, we've got a vision, we've got goals to meet in club success to make sure that club is successful. The next thing is that the treasurer would do. What do you think a treasurer would do? Collect money. Money, 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 money. And pretty soon, the time is ticking. We have got to get that money into TI so that we can remain one of those honorable clubs. Sergeant at Arms. Do not take Sergeant at Arms club, the club officer, very lightly. Sergeant at Arms are very important. Who would put up the banner? Who would take down all of the equipment? Who would pick up the equipment and put it out? Presently, that is Leonard Macasa. Fellow guests, fellow Toastmasters, think about the position that you would like to run for. You want to run and become a club officer so you can learn skills, leadership skills, so that you can be very effective being a club officer. This is the end of my speech. Any questions? What questions do you have? 2 to 3 minutes now.
Why would a person want to run other than just wanting the recognition of being an officer? What would be the advantage in taking that position?
The advantage in taking that position is building your confidence. Can I do this? Look at Scott when he had to take on midpoint. And he said, oh, we searched all over. We couldn't find nobody. Nobody like Scott. Yes, we did. All right. Another question. Dave.
Credit that Toastmasters receives towards a leadership award if you become an officer?
If you become an officer, if you take your training on time, 2 times a year, January and July, if you take the training, and if you pay your dues on time, and what's the other thing? There's something else in there. If you take that training, I believe that's, and you do what you're supposed to do, then they will award you.
And that helps you become a competent leader, is that correct?
Yes, it does. There are plenty of, get your CL book out. See what's in there for membership. See what's in there for PR.
Fabia has her book, but I guess that helps close the gap. That's an award. Close the gap.
So what do I have to offer you? The dingle on the little line there? Awards for you. Yes, I got an award and I have a badge. Any other questions?
May I make a statement? I've got 3 emails today from people that have promotions. The one thing I noticed was when they were participating in an officer or a leadership role in any organization, especially Toastmasters, they have been promoted to deputy chief or a chief like this guy over here. I've got a young man in my other Toastmasters. This week he will be promoted to most likely department head, and it's because he has become a leader or an officer in his organization. That's one of the things you may want to look at if you're interested in promotion and a significant salary increase. That's one of the things we look at in our organization.
Leadership skills would be my take on it. Last question. I've got to sit down. The red light is about to come on.
Isn't it required to be an officer of some sort to get your DPM?
Yes.
Why? You get it without it, right?
That's what's on the card that our VP gave us. Be an officer if you want that DTM.
Everyone wants to be DPM.
There we go. Get it over with. Miss Toastmaster Brandy.
That was a very informative speech. I knew about the officer roles, but I didn't know about them in depth. The roles are on the back of the handout that Miss Antoinette gave out. Great speech. That was very informative. I may think about running for an officer role for Toastmasters pretty soon. So I can get off. So I can get off some of the boards of these other organizations that I'm currently involved in. So we have completed the speech portion of our agenda for today. Now we're going to go on to our great evaluations. I'm going to call up Toastmaster Leonard Mikasa to finish us on out with our general evaluation for.
Yay! Thank you, Toastmaster Brandy. This is judgment call. No. We are in a friendly environment. We had an enthusiastic weekend, and I'm bringing it back home. Great speeches today. We will have our evaluation team assemble. We have Toastmaster Jana Jacobs. Should be evaluating Toastmaster Aaron.
Come on down. Come on down.
And yes, Toastmaster Mukasa will be evaluating Toastmaster Kavia. And the third evaluator would be Distinguished Toastmaster Edwin. He will be evaluating our third speaker, Toastmaster Antoinette Mitchell. So let's start off by listening to the evaluation from Toastmaster Jana Jacobs. Welcome to the podium.
Aaron's speech, Mother's Love. He actually wanted me to evaluate this as an entertaining speech, which was really difficult because there's not a lot entertaining about this. Did you guys feel that? I'm kidding.
I know, because I'm funny as hell.
Just ask him, he'll tell you. How does the speaker indicate that they are truly being entertaining? Well, I think we were all engaged. I know I was sitting back there thinking about my own mother and the ways that she's special to me. We all laughed at the appropriate times. It's always better to be laughed with than laughed at. How did he organize his speech? He started with a generalization of everyone's mother and how everyone's mother loves them, but in their own special way, and then he got to the special way that his mother shows his love for him. And he used some really good stories about how his mother always seemed to know when that bottle cracked open or that bottle tipped over onto the rocks. Mothers always know that stuff. How do they know? I have 2 little boys and another little girl on the way. I suppose I'll get that intuition at some point. Right now, I don't know what they're doing half the time. His conclusion brought all that together because she always knows. Always knows. How does she always know? Well, one time he showed up on national TV acting a fool in front of the entire world. And she just happened to be watching at that one moment where they went through the entire stadium and focused right on him. I wonder how many people get those calls during sporting events from their mother where they're like, "What are you doing? Everyone can see you." How could he improve his talk? If he could just learn to come out of his shell a little bit, not be quite such a shrinking violet. What is his strongest asset? I mean, I think we can all agree that Aaron is, he's that personality that I honestly believe could talk to anyone about anything for any amount of time and feel perfectly comfortable. That's very admirable. He's just got that flow. I loved the story about getting the cocktail first thing at the end of your shift, but first thing in the morning for most other people, because I also worked the night shift. And I remember one time I stopped at a store back in the day and got some libations, and it was pretty early in the morning, kind of, maybe a little too early in the morning for most people to be doing that. And the clerk said, "Oh, are you just getting off of work?" And I said, "No, I'm on my way." Thank you.
Thank you, Master Jana Jacobs. Distinguished Toastmaster Adrian is on his feet. Maybe I'll let him.
Go ahead and do your second one.
I'll do the second one. Please help me in welcoming Toastmaster Mukasa to the podium. With enthusiasm, I'm evaluating my student, if you will. She's still a student, believe it or not. But today I'll do some justice, some encouragement. 80% of what we are depends on what we put in our mouth. But doesn't corrupt us, I think. I liked that number because I'm an epidemiologist. I don't like do this, that. Give me a number and I'll try to hold on to it. The opening was great. You asked us, how about March? What is it? Her topic is making the point. She wanted to make the point. That's how she started us thinking. We went, Ides of March, my birthday, and she came to the point, built the story with examples. She gave us specific examples, the X generation, middle class, crisis generation, the elderly, the whole 9 years. We have something to do. And she encouraged us to sign up. So that's how she built her story convincingly with a smile, not nudging or blame, but says, this is the way to do it, and this is how I'm trying to do it. So it was kind of convincing to me to take on the challenge, and I'm sorry I didn't sign up. I feel bad. I didn't sign up for Blue, and you, I do exercise though. Don't you think so? And the conclusion, yes, she went back to that point. Have a goal, moderation, keep doing it. How could she have improved this? Maybe by talking about, I thought she could talk about what has convinced her or encouraged her to carry on in her own march. I think you are going to, I feel you're on your way to giving good speeches. Carry on. Toastmaster Mukasa. Now I would like to welcome our third evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Adrian Duncan, and we'll be evaluating our own Toastmaster Antoinette.
All right, Mr. Toastmaster, General
Yes,
Evaluator.
sir.
Thank you. Good job. With enthusiasm, I would say she did an excellent presentation. Would you agree with her? Right, give her a hand if you think she did. I believe she did. She did three things. She opened it up to tell us, why would you want to become a distinguished Toastmaster? And she gave us those 9 points. It was well organized, your presentation, Toastmaster Antoinette. You got to the point. You told us exactly 1, 2, 3. You told us how to say it, how to get the message across to our public. You did the gestures by your verbal language, which most people have a tough time doing that. You gave us power and strength and courage just through your words of English language. The next part of it, I saw something, I heard something, I felt something different, because I believe you told our young people in this room how they can become more successful in their environment at work and or at home, or in the communication with their fellow communicators in terms of employees, or your supervisors, or your managers. I believe you did that well. I believe you persuaded us to take an opportunity. When you let one opportunity go by, it may be the opportunity that would have given you a promotion. You may want to consider that. Visualization. I thought you gave us a vision to look to the future for tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. There is no end to the opportunity that you opened the gate and the doors for us to accept. The inspiration to me was you're willing to step out of your box and tell others, here's what I have learned, here's what has helped me. The one suggestion I have would be to put to memory maybe 4 parts of the president, 4 points of the evaluator, VPE of education, or the PR person, the 4 things they can do with newspapers, whatever that is. And over the membership is recruitment. How many people can you talk to in 1 week for recruitment? Those are just basic ideas and suggestions, not requirements, suggestions and ideas. However, I believe the overall presentation was one of your very best efforts and most inspiring. Would you all agree with it? Give Antoinette a large big hand. Tell her she was enthusiastic. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Edwin. Yes, sir. Now it's my honor to call upon Governor David. Toastmaster David. With enthusiasm, thank you so much. To the podium.
Appreciate being introduced as governor. Actually, I called Dr. McCoss this morning and said, yes, this is Governor Asa Hutchinson. And then he said, yes. And he thought I really was the governor. I just wanted to congratulate him for winning that area contest. For the word of the day, enthusiasm, Brandy used it 3 times, Scott once, Antoinette once, Adrian 1.1 million times, too many to count, and Leonard twice. So I commend you all in using the word of the day. In terms of words or phrases I thought were particularly well done today, I thought the memorable phrase that Adrian used was very well done. Ask the blind man. He saw it all. Watch the lights. Excellent. I liked Aaron's foundational phrase that he kind of wove throughout his speech, which was a mother's love. A mother's love. Very good, very memorable. I liked the alliteration that Antoinette used when she said the club president both guides and presides. Guides and presides. Commend Antoinette on that phrase. Jonna said that Aaron has the ability to talk to anybody about anything at any time. And I thought that was very well said, very descriptive. I commend Dr. Mukasa on using either an idiom or a metaphor when he said the whole 9 yards during his evaluation. And then Adrian had a nice word, I thought very apt, when he used the word of visualization. Overall, excellent job. I did not detect any issues in terms of poor grammar, so excellent work. Return control to our general evaluator.
Master David. Do we have an counter today? No. It was done by Toastmaster Dave. Yes, he did it. Okay.
I think the report speaks for itself. You didn't hear any bells. I did not hear any ups.
Now let's have a timer's report. Distinguished Toastmaster Joyce D. How did we do on time?
Red lights. Red lights. No red lights in this meeting. Red lights.
Here is our timer's report. We started the meeting on time, thanks to Adrian. He dinged us and we started. Table topics. Aaron spoke for 46 seconds. Jana spoke for 48 seconds. Remember, the goal is at least 1 minute. Prepared speeches. Aaron spoke for 5 minutes, 26 seconds. Kavya spoke for 5 minutes, 19 seconds. Antoinette spoke for 5 minutes, 45 seconds. And then the question and answers was 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Evaluators. Jana Jacobs spoke for 3 minutes, 40 seconds. Leonard Mukasa spoke for 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Adrian Duncan spoke for 2 minutes, 15 seconds. The grammarian counter report from David was 1 minute and 36 seconds, and I have been speaking for 50 seconds. That is our report.
Thank you. I will echo sentiments and feelings from fellow Toastmasters. We had an enthusiastic meeting today. We covered the rules, folks jumped in. I liked memorable things like watch the lights because it's personal to me. That's how I got to win. By default, all I did was to watch the lights. It may take you far. We've done well on time, and I would like to hand over this meeting to our presiding officer, Distinguished Toastmaster Scott.
Thank you. For those of you who participated in this weekend's contest and were there, thank you. I really appreciate it, even though... Do you have any business you need to speak about? Yes, we do. Okay, so we have some new business, and we have 13 minutes to do so. So let's turn it over.
Sign your name on the dotted line.
Okay. I know it's been said a couple of times. For Area B2, Leonard came in first for evaluation contest. Aaron came in first for an international speech. They'll be representing at both contests on April 1st, St. Vincent Center for Health Education at 9 o'clock. Please be there or be square. And registration is 8:30 for contest officials and contestants. If they win, which Leonard would win because he is the only evaluation contestant. Because our other contestants, now we got to make this point, our other contestants were all time disqualified. Since they were all the time disqualified from the other areas, Area B2 is the only one that has a representative for the division contest. If Leonard does what he's supposed to do and stay within time, he will go to Vicksburg, Mississippi. Okay? Now, Aaron wasn't so lucky. He still has competition.
He can do it again. He can do it. Y'all give him a hand. He can do it, y'all.
Now, the winner of the international speech contest and the winner of the evaluation contest for the division goes to Vicksburg, Mississippi, April 28th and 29th. Okay? And we would like to represent. If you all, I'm going anyway because I'm a division director. But if the club wants to go, the club can go for $100. But it can only be for 10 people. 10 people can go up for $100. If y'all want to get together and do something about that, y'all can. I just want to lay that out there. Okay? It's April 28th and 29th. Coming up. You got a month to decide if you want to do that. The other thing I want to say while I'm standing here is our dues need to be paid. Some of us have already paid our dues. If you want, I forgot to bring the square. Anyway, if anybody.
Don't run the light and don't be square.
But we've had several people who've already paid. If you want to pay by check, you can go ahead, check or cash, you can go ahead and do that today. If you want to pay by credit card, you can come to my office. I have the square. Okay? If you don't know where my office is, I'm on the 4th floor in Office of Minority Health in room 453.
The doors are locked. Be prepared.
Well, that's no big deal because the other side is TB. If you knock on the door, Lisa will open the door for you because Lisa has a remote that opens the door. Okay?
What is the amount of the dues?
The amount of the dues is $51, which covers the $45 dues for Toastmasters International and the $6 dues for the club. Okay? That covers 6 months, April through September. That's all I have to say.
Oh, Joyce, I've got a question.
Yes, sir.
Do we still have scholarships left for new people to join the club?
We have all scholarships left since nobody's paid me.
Yeah.
Okay, so good.
Nobody has turned. I've only gotten one application turned in.
Okay. So you did get one.
I've gotten one.
We have 9 more?
Yes.
Is that right?
So if the other people that have expressed interest turn theirs in by Friday, yes, but I've only had 8 people altogether express interest. So we have 2 other slots if those all 8 people turn theirs in.
Okay, so we don't know if they're going to. Should we talk? I'm just wondering, should we talk to other people at the health department, let them know?
I've been telling y'all in the emails. If you know people that were interested, send them my way.
Okay. So
Now this is what I want you to do, Dave. Don't have those people talk to you. Send it to you, because they've been doing that. The 2 people that did you talk to? They need to send it directly to me, not to you. So if there's anybody you talk to, have them send it to me directly.
right. I mean, I was clear when you communicated that to me. So in the future, I'll make sure it goes to you.
Okay, because a couple of people have done it, send it to you, and I want it to come directly to me. Okay? And make sure that the letter that's from the center director is addressed to either to whom it may concern or to me. Not to Dave. Dave's not the president. because one of them was signed that way.
We
If they,
need help next Saturday, 8:30, help, in front of you, St. Vincent's, 8:30, please help. This,
okay,
25th.
yes, that is going on, but we're still talking about this. Now, if y'all know anybody that wants to join HealthMasters under the scholarship, they can get in contact with me. My information was in the director's letter about 3 weeks ago. Okay? I'm going to get with Meg and see if I can have an ADH all email sent out before the end of the week. Okay? That's all.
Advanced Toastmasters meet the second Thursday, 13th, April 13th. April 13th, visit the Advanced Toastmasters, St. Vincent's, 6:30 p.m. St. Vincent.
Perfect.
Second Thursday.
Anyone else? On your mark. You set, people are ready to go, huh? All right. Let's adjourn the meeting.
I need to evaluate my, get on my, just